Hey everyone, welcome to this week's update video. And this week we have Shiranui as the new banner unit for the part 3 of the summer event. And let's go over her skills. So she's a support unit, and she has a different targeting. So she doesn't have a targeting system here, right? She actually just targets the next enemy after her, similar to Crim's targeting. So let's say she's position 4, that she will target position 5 on the enemy team. And then when she targets them, she will apply a dot, right? And that scales off crit chance and crit damage, right? That's what dots typically scale off. She also does a bit of fixed damage based off the target's max HP. She has camouflage. She first gains it, I believe, or she gains like an 18 turn one at rank 5. I'm not sure if she gets a one before that. I have to check. But at a higher level, she'll have for like infinite turns. Then she also does an armor reduction on the target, which is fine. I think this would be better if it didn't target her target, right? If this was something that she could do on a taunting unit, then that'd be great. But because you have to position her with the correct like unit ordering in order to get the tanks, and most tanks are positioned on like the turn 9 or turn 8, right? So you have to be very late in order to target them, because obviously you want the armor reduction on tanks because that helps to kill them. But yeah, unfortunately that's not the case. So she's mostly like a dot main character, in my opinion, for as far as I could tell. She has some other decent support stuff though, right? So this one is she herself gains crit chance and crit damage, which obviously scales with her dots. And then she also dispels buffs on the enemy, and also weakens them with like attack down. So I think she's pretty good for this EX skill, right? But I don't know if you would use those like just for this in PvP. I think it's reasonable because the EX you shouldn't need to skill up to get this or to increase the effectiveness of this. So she could be usable at lower ranks, but you have to give up a slot for her. So I just don't feel like she's that worth it. But she is a limited unit and a pretty nice looking design. So it's really up to you if you want to pull for that. Personally, I would say it's a good idea to pick up limited units if you can afford them, but she is a skippable one in my opinion. So I'll just leave that choice up to you, and how much resources you have. Next we have Red, who is the new transcendent unit specifically for the summer event. So let's go over her skills. She is a tank unit with an auto taunt and a lot of damage reduction. Like she has armor bonus here, she has resistance bonus here, and then she also has a mobility here, right? And so the resistance is gained at the start of the battle, and then the mobility and armor are gained at the start of every round. Armor lasts pretty much, it generally will last the whole fight. In most cases, at least in PvP, it will last the whole round. But the mobility only lasts for 9 turns, right? So half the battle. She also gets immunity to weakening effects, which is fine, not too exciting for a tank. She also has a shield regeneration, which is interesting. I don't know how this is going to work, but she gives shield recovery to your allies. And she also has a shield herself, right? Based off her own max HP, and she also regenerates it a bit during her turns, or during like each turn. But the main star of her skill kit, in my opinion, is this damage share. Now, damage share in most games is pretty good, right? Because if you have a very tanky unit and you have a damage share that absorbs some damage to her, and that will allow your other units to hopefully survive, right? It's a little bit tricky in Haze Reverb because there's so many very high damage units that it can be quite difficult to survive most attacks, right? Because usually if something's going to attack you, they're most likely going to one-shot you, at least in this game. But with this damage share, this might help to alleviate that. So, for example, if you just place her next to some other taunting unit, then she can absorb some of their damage, and hopefully they won't die. I have to check how the targeting works with multiple auto taunts, but because you will want to position her in such a way that the other auto taunt will take damage first, and then red will damage share, right? I'm unsure what the positioning is because I haven't really looked into that with multiple auto taunts, but that's something I'll look at a little further down the track once I actually obtain one. Most likely I'll wait until we get the free copy, and of course because it's a new transcendent unit, we're going to get a free copy after 7 days, but you have to log in every day to get it. Actually, I think if you don't log in, but the 7-day duration is over, you should actually be able to collect all of the rewards. Because I do remember I started my alt, which I no longer play, but when I did start my alt, it was sort of in the middle of one of the transcendent unit releases, and I was able to just claim all of the rewards, and I didn't have to wait 7 days. But we do have to wait 7 days because it only just started, right? I'm just saying if you do if you miss a login or whatever, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, she has to be positioned next to the unit to damage shit them, I believe. And yeah, so that's that skill. And then I'm unsure how this one works. Reduces the number of hits absorbed invulnerability barrier by 1. This just doesn't seem like it's translated correctly. We'll have to see how that works in practice. But then this one, when she dies, she will stun all enemies for 6 turns, which is pretty nice. But because it's 6 turns and it's when she dies, when the opponent kills her, the turn's going to go back to you, which means you use up probably 1 or 2 turns, depending on how many supports you have. So that will lower the duration of the stuns, right? But it will go back to them, and that should at least stun their next action to move, right? Including supports that aren't stun immune. So that's pretty powerful, right? It makes her useful even if she's auto-taunting and it just dies to like a 1 hit. You can at least disrupt the enemy's next turn. It probably won't last long enough to get them for 2 consecutive rounds or changeovers, because you'll have 2 turns before they get their second turn. But yeah, even just stunning their next action is still pretty good. So I would say she's primarily a PvP character. I don't know if she's going to have that much use in PvE. I guess you could maybe have an argument she could be useful in Crusade Raid, but it'll be very niche if she is. And these days, at least for me, I don't tend to run tanks in my team, but it just depends on the boss. Different bosses, some bosses will require a tank, some do not necessarily need a tank. And therefore, I would say she's primarily for PvP. Now, if you are trying to compete in PvP, then I think she's something that you should keep in mind, and not necessarily go all in yet, but I would say wait for the free copy and then see whether she's useful at that point, and then check her skill up to see at what point does she need to be strong enough in PvP. So I'm personally going to wait for that, and then I'll probably do a follow-up video once I do obtain Red, and then we'll discuss her in more detail once I can figure out how good she is in PvP. But yeah, if you're only a PvE player, then I would just skip pulling for her. For PvE, you probably want to wait for Coast Guard, which I feel like she's probably coming up sometime within the next few months, most likely. Hopefully by the end of the year, but we'll have to see how whether she comes out or not. Since we got Red now, I feel like the next transcendent unit probably won't be until the end of the year. But I believe the first year anniversary is coming up in a couple of months or so. So that there's also a chance that we might get postcard, which I believe is tied to the first anniversary. Yep, so that is red and also Shiranui, right? Now we have the side story here. I haven't done all the side story like stages yet. I have to get through it, but it's basically similar to like the previous one. You have a couple like your story stage and the battle stages, and then 2 more of these are unlocked next week. So don't be alarmed. You just wait another week to get access to those. And then we also have the like boss stages. The first 2 aren't actually bosses, but the next 3 here are the boss ones, right? But those should be pretty easy. I would say this, whatever this Dark Throne boss is most likely going to be the next Crusade raid, I imagine. But that probably won't be for like another 2 or 3 weeks, I would say. But it should be coming soon. It may even be for like the end of the this side story. Like I guess that would be 2 weeks away. That's just my educated guess, though. Then we have the shop here. I wanted to take note that this is probably a translation error, but it says reverb of Hikari, but this is actually reverb for President, right? Or President Skadi. And I know that there's another Skadi variant. There's apparently no limit to how many Skadis we can have, but that is President Skadi, or like Student Council President Skadi. And you get her through the achievements here. So you just have to do 1-4 and you'll get the ticket for President. And then these are the reverbs, right? You get some in the achievements, and then some the rest are in the shop. And then to get her residence gear, you have to buy that in your commander's office in the processing plant here. And you just have to go to residence gear, and then it will be somewhere down here. Unsure if they've added it yet, but it will be here at some point. This is probably the president's gear, so it's not yet unlocked. I think maybe I just need to obtain the character, and then that will be unlocked then. Then we also have Moon Abyss for a couple of weeks. So I guess that also makes sense of Crusade Raid being after Moon Abyss. That would line up pretty well. So that's most likely what's going to happen. And I feel like that is pretty much it. I'm not sure if there's anything in here. This is the login event, so we'll get the red ticket after 7 days, right? So this is where it is, and you get some crystals along the way. And there's also the skin for red. Up to you if you want to get that. It is a paid skin, so you need the premium currency to buy that. But up to you if you want to spend for that. Yeah, that pretty much covers what we have for this week. I will most likely do a Moon Abyss video, but I think it will be just a floor 80 clear for me this time. I just don't have the energy or the time at the moment to do like a high level clear. So I think I'm just going to chill and do a level 80 clear. But I think a level 80 clear is like a decent video to make because it's a bit more realistic for most people to clear that. And that's all you really need to get the reward here, which is in where is it? Redemption and the clothing store. So if you want to get these badges, you need the level 80 clear to get this currency. So yeah, I might do that at some point, but yeah, I'll see how I go with time because I have a lot going on at the moment. But anyway, that is it for this video. So thanks for watching, guys, and good luck with your pulls if you're pulling for anything here. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.